Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to break down one of the biggest ideas shaping our world, the difference between analog and digital. It's a concept that touches pretty much everything, from the music you listen to the photos you take. So, let's get right into it.
You've definitely heard this debate before, right? You've got your friends who swear by the warmth of vinyl records, and then you've got others who love the crystal clear sound from Spotify. But what is the actual difference? This isn't just about old tech versus new tech. We're talking about two totally different philosophies for capturing reality itself.
So, first up, let's talk about the original, analog. The best way to think about analog is to think about a world of smooth, flowing, and continuous information. Kind of like how we experience the world with our own senses.
Okay, so the secret is actually right there in the name. An analog signal is analogous to the thing it's recording. That groove you see on a vinyl record, it's not just some random wiggle. Its physical shape is a direct, continuous copy of the actual sound wave that was created in the studio. It's a physical echo.
Here's the best way to get your head around this. Picture a smooth ramp. You can stand absolutely anywhere on that ramp. There are literally infinite points between the bottom and the top. There are no sudden jumps, no steps, just a perfectly smooth, continuous slope. You get all the shades of gray, not just pure black and pure white.
So, why do people still love it so much? Well, analog fans talk about a certain richness or warmth that's kind of hard to measure, but you know it when you hear it. The argument is that since the analog signal is a continuous wave, it just does a better job of capturing all the tiny, subtle details of a live performance. And of course, there's that physical connection. I mean, carefully placing a needle on a record is a whole ritual that a digital file just can't give you.
All right, let's completely switch gears and talk about digital. If analog is that smooth, flowing ramp, then digital is a world built on something much more rigid. It's a world of separate, individual steps.
You see, digital does something completely different. It doesn't try to make a perfect physical copy of the original wave. Instead, it measures that wave at thousands upon thousands of times per second, and then it turns each one of those measurements into a number, specifically a string of ones and zeros. It's basically converting smooth reality into a super detailed numerical description.
And that brings us to our next big analogy, the staircase. This makes it all so clear. With digital, you can be on step 1, or step 2, or step 3. But you can't be on step 2.7. You just can't. Every single piece of information has a precise, defined spot. There are no in-betweens.
So what's the payoff for doing all this? Well, it's huge. Digital signals are incredibly tough against noise and static. And get this is a big one. You can make a perfect copy of a digital file, and then a perfect copy of that copy, 1,000,000 times over, with absolutely zero loss in quality. That's just impossible with analog. And that precision, plus the fact that you can carry 1,000,000 songs in your pocket, is exactly why digital took over the world.
Okay, so this isn't about which one is better or worse. It's not a fight. At the end of the day, it's all about a fundamental trade-off. We're choosing between two completely different ways to describe the world, and each one comes with its own set of pros and cons.
And this table just lays it all out. On one side, you've got analog, a continuous wave that's beautiful but can easily pick up noise. And every time you copy it, you get generation loss. It gets a little bit worse. On the other side is digital, discrete steps, super tough against noise, and you can make perfect copies forever. That's the core trade-off, the infinite detail of analog versus the unbreakable precision of digital.
And that brings us right back to the human side of things. This quote really gets to the heart of the analog argument. It's not about the specs, it's about a feeling that the smooth, uninterrupted wave just feels more real or more natural to our ears, like it's closer to how the music was actually played in the first place.
So here's the big question, right? The world around us, the sound of a voice, the light in a room, it's all analog. But our phones, our computers, they're all digital. So how do we bridge that gap? How do we turn that smooth ramp into a set of stairs?
Well, it basically comes down to a two-step process. The first part is called sampling. That's where a device takes thousands of tiny snapshots of the analog wave every single second. Then comes quantization. This is the crucial part, where each of those snapshots gets assigned a number. It gets forced to snap to the nearest step on our digital staircase.
All right, let's actually see what this quantization looks like in practice. Here's an image that's being represented with 256 different levels, or steps. Looks pretty good, right? The details are clear, the shading looks smooth. That's because our staircase has plenty of steps to work with. Now watch what happens when we take some of those steps away.
Here, we're down to just 32 levels. You can already start to see it, can't you? Some of that subtle detail is starting to disappear. The image is being forced to make do with fewer, cruder options.
Let's take it down to just 16 levels, and yeah, now it's really obvious. Those smooth gradients of color are breaking up. We're losing all of that in-between information because our digital staircase is getting shorter and shorter.
And here is the extreme. At just 4 levels. Wow, the image just falls apart. You can see these harsh, blocky, artificial-looking bands of color. This effect actually has a name. It's called false contouring. And it's the perfect visual for what happens when your quantization steps are too big, and you lose all the beautiful nuance of the original analog world.
So, when you see that trade-off so clearly, it really makes you think about how completely digital has taken over our world. And I mean completely, and in such a short amount of time.
Get ready for this number, 94%. What on earth could that possibly represent?
That is the amount of the world's information that was stored in a digital format by the year 2007. And get this, the year we think the tipping point happened, the year digital storage officially surpassed analog, was 2002. That's not ancient history. That was just yesterday, practically. That's how fast this revolution happened.
Which leaves us with this final thought to chew on. In this digital age, we've gained a world of perfect copies, incredible convenience, and almost flawless precision. But as we keep translating our analog reality into the language of ones and zeros, you have to ask, what, if anything, are we losing in the translation? What's the real value of this smooth ramp versus the perfect staircase?